Good afternoon, Knicks Nation. Happy President's Day. I hope you're all safe and healthy, and I hope that you enjoyed your weekend. And if it's still going, I hope you're still enjoying it, and that you and your family are safe and healthy, and that the needs of you and your family in terms of food, shelter, clothing, as well as health are being met today. Blessings upon those that work in the area of health, along with first responders every day, trying their best to comfort and save lives. Those that pick up garbage to keep our places clean, and those that make deliveries for our convenience. Double blessings on the men and women out here trying to help rescue, deliver, and recover teenagers and children, the victims of child molestation and pedophilia. People that are helping the ones that are victims of prostitution and child prostitution, pornography, human trafficking, and sex slavery. Double curses on the perpetrators, profiteers, and perverts that cause these industries to even exist. Finally, double blessings on the homeless that are 700,000 plus strong: men, women, children, families, senior citizens, military veterans, homeless in the United States of America, many more around the world. Blessings upon them, for theirs is the kingdom. So now we're done with the All-Star weekend. And Thursday, the season will restart. Now, at this point, teams are doing several things. They're reviewing the first part of their seasons. All teams are doing this. They're trying to get healthy. And if they realize that they're lost a player, for example, for the season, if somebody's out for the season, they're trying to make adjustments to be prepared for how to move forward. In the Knicks case, fortunately, they're obviously, Mike Brown and his staff are reviewing everything that took place in the first 55 games of the season, the Knicks now being 35-20. They're looking at what adjustments they need to make. Now, Mike Brown made tremendous adjustment 12 games before the All-Star break, where they went 10-2 in changing the defense. Instead of funneling people to the middle of the floor, funneling people to the sideline and having everybody make a concerted effort to protect the paint defensively. Also, of course, having Jalen Brunson move the ball more and focus on getting his teammates involved, especially in the first 3 quarters of the game. So these adjustments were already made. What they're probably doing now is solidifying these adjustments. Also, what all teams are doing is players that have been added to them from the trade deadline, they have to get them acclimated. In the Knicks case, that would be Jeremy Sohan and, of course, Jose Alvarado. Alvarado had a couple of games before the All-Star break to get into the Knicks, and we saw how that was working out. Initially very good, just like with Josh Hart when he first came to the team, just like when Derrick Rose when he first came to the Knicks under Tom Thibodeau. And so we had a good start with Jose Alvarado, but now we got Sohan. Sohan is a big, I don't want to say question mark, but I'm sure, and see, other teams have to make adjustments for situations like an Alvarado and a Sohan. They didn't have time to do it when Alvarado first came, okay? But you're not going to have too much more of Alvarado sneaking up behind people like he did, because they weren't ready for it. It happened very suddenly. It's like how in baseball, they bring up pitchers from the minors at the end of a season because they're really good. They're major league level, and the teams haven't had time to adjust to their stuff. So they usually become very successful to start their career in September or August of a baseball season. Well, it's like that here. So teams didn't have a time to adjust to Alvarado on the Knicks. Alvarado as a player, yes, but not on the Knicks. Same with Sohan. Sohan being a very talented player out of Baylor, a number 9 overall pick, having not fit with San Antonio. And it wasn't, I looked it up best I could to find if it was attitude. Some people surmise, and it makes sense for you if you don't know the situation to surmise he had some sort of attitude. It wasn't that. It was just that the way San Antonio is playing, the way their coach who took over for Pop is organizing the team, and the players, the type of players that coach wanted for the system he was running, Sohan didn't fit. Okay, Sohan just simply didn't fit. And so Sohan was losing minutes. Sohan being 22 years old, a tremendous talent, coming off of his last year of his rookie deal and looking to get paid. After that, it just wasn't working out for him. So you had, in his position, he plays small forward, power forward in the five. So you got Luke Cornett, and you're talking about Victor Wembanyama, Julian Champagny, Devin Vassell. Those are the starters. Okay, that's in the place of Sohan. Then you got Carter Bryant, Harrison Barnes, Luke Cornett behind them, and Keldon Johnson is there too because he plays four as well. So now, Sohan is out of the mix. And it wasn't just, and this is not a function of these players being better than Sohan. And this is what a lot of people that still think with a street level, high school level, college level mentality. In the pros, it's fit. How do these players fit as a unit? And the way that San Antonio's, obviously, they fit very well because if you look at San Antonio right now, where is San Antonio? Second in the West. Okay, second in the West. And so with that being the situation, the coach ain't going to change. No coach would. Even if you got a guy that might be talented, if it ain't fitting, you got to stick with what works. So San Antonio being only 3 games out from Oklahoma City, 38-16, you're not going to change that. So that left Sohan out the mix. Sohan handled it by all accounts with a high level of class and professionalism. And there was an understanding that he needed to be moved on because he's too talented to be not in somebody's rotation. And apparently, as we know, now it was reported by both Chams and Ian Begley, there were 10 teams that wanted Sohan. Okay, it makes sense. It wasn't like they couldn't find a taker. There were 10 teams that wanted him. And so he chose the New York Knicks of the 10 teams. So a guy coming, a 9th overall pick, had high hopes in a historic franchise like San Antonio Spurs, didn't fit with a non-Pop coach team because it was Pop that wanted Sohan. It was Pop that was bringing him along. But the new coach didn't feel the same way. He wants someplace that he needs to go where he could be in a rotation and he's going to play. Now, this is the thing. A lot of Knicks fans, particularly, because we about the Knicks and for the Knicks on this channel. So I'm not really caring about other fans. But the Knicks fans love, and rightfully so, Kumo Diawara. Yes, we definitely love him, and he's going to be a long-term piece for the Knicks, no doubt. But I'm going to tell you, 10 teams wanted Sohan. The Knicks did not bring him here for him to be the 10th or the 9th man. He's going to be in the rotation. Okay? He's a free agent at the end of this year. The Knicks must maximize this guy who's going to have a chip on his shoulder to show what he could bring to the table, which in his case, motor and defense are the 2 top things Sohan brings to the table. And listen, there's no team in the NBA that doesn't want those 2 things on their team, motor and defense. It would cause several players to get, like for example, Isaac Okoro gets drafted 4th overall by Cleveland. Why? Motor and defense. Okay? Now, I think they made a mistake letting him go, but that's their business. What I'm saying is there's no team that doesn't want that. There's no championship team that doesn't have that. A guy, Caruso, somebody said, he's our Caruso. I don't like to make him our anything. They say, Jose Alvarado could be our Caruso. No, he's our guy. He's Jose. He's going to be Jose, right? Don't do that. But Caruso brought motor and defense. So does Dort. Every championship team needs to have that. Draymond Green brings motor and defense. Every chip team needs that, okay? Manu Ginobili, motor and defense. So you got to have that starting 5 that can light it up. But you got to have somebody either coming off your bench like a Caruso or starting that motor and defense. There's Josh Hart, motor and defense. There's no team that doesn't want this, okay? Even if they can't shoot, like Isaac Okoro couldn't shoot, motor and defense though, okay? That's what you want. Josh Hart is shooting now, last year and a half, I'll say. Josh Hart's really shooting. But most of his career, but always motor and defense. So here comes Jeremy Sohan. Don't expect him to hit. Some of y'all, I could see it in your comments already. He doesn't need to really shoot well. He just needs to hit open shots. Don't expect that. You're going to see a lot of bricks from Jeremy Sohan. They're going to leave him open to shoot. But always appreciate what he brings. See, this is the problem I have with a lot of y'all. Y'all focus on what somebody doesn't do instead of focusing on what they do. You want to highlight what they don't do and act like they're supposed to just do it because you said so. Players are what they are. Sohan is motor and defense. Will he learn how to shoot? Maybe. The Knicks definitely got a good shooting coach. We can see it. But he may not do it now. Motor and defense, though, from day one, he's going to bring that. Okay? Be thankful you got that. That's going to win you basketball games. That's going to cause you to go far. Motor and defense. So you got in your starting unit a Josh Hart. Motor and defense. Mikal Bridges. Motor and defense. OG Anunoby. Motor and defense. And then you got on your bench Jose Alvarado. Motor and defense. Landry Shamet. Motor, shooting, and defense. Sohan, motor and defense. Mitchell Robinson, motor and defense. Mo D, motor and defense. And shooting. Now, teams, as I mentioned earlier, teams are going to have to make adjustments for that. And this is the thing. A lot of people expect, again, I get the idea. Knicks fans think we should have all-stars at every position, which is totally delusional. But what you do want is you want a situation where teams have to pick their poison. Like the championship Boston Celtics. You had Tatum, you had Brown, you had Jrue Holiday, you had White on the same team. They could all shoot. Then you had a part-timer in Porzingis, and he played enough games so that it was always a pick your poison. You couldn't really double any of them. You had to play them all straight up. And then you're at their mercy when they move into basketball, as we saw. That's what caused them to dominate the league and win the chip. That's what you want. You want a situation, and that, listen, nobody would ever say Jrue Holiday's an all-star, but what he is a winner. Nobody would ever say White is an all-star, but what he is a winner. Superstar is Tatum. Superstar is Brown. One could be superstar, but never was because he's Anthony Ambulance, was Kristaps Porzingis. Then you had Al Horford. And they brought it enough together so that you had to pick your poison. Guess what the Knicks now have? They got it together enough so that you got to pick your poison. Okay? So it's in the hands of Brunson. Brunson, again, showed himself. I only saw highlights. I didn't watch the whole All-Star game. It bores me, actually. But he wins the skills. They win the skill stuff, the shooting stuff. Okay. He's ready. He just has to know how to play to the game plan, which he does. It's just emotional with him. It's not theoretical. It's emotional with him. So he has to play to the game plan. He knows this. Okay. I'm very confident. That's why I like him so much. He understands. I could be harder on him and say, he's B+ when he's an all-star. But look, it's because I know this boy is so on a high level in terms of basketball IQ. Come on. And then the footwork is legendary. So he just has to stick with the game plan. He knows this, okay? They're coming into this healthy. They got Deuce McBride waiting in the wings. He's going to be there at the end. And you already got a team, okay? You already got it. So Sohan is going to be the guy to get the most minutes between him and Mo D. And when Deuce comes back, it's going to be Sohan, Deuce, Shamet. You're going to have Mitchell Robinson, okay, still. And then, of course, you're still going to have Alvarado. So you're going to have that. Still, you ain't losing nothing, okay? That's it. So Mo D going to get some minutes. He ain't going to lose. He ain't going to be DNP-CD. I can tell you that. But to get in the rotation means at least 10 minutes. He's not always going to get that. Maybe a foul trouble, he gets it, But it's going to be Sohan. Sohan's going to be trusted. Okay, though he can't shoot as well as Mo D right now. Don't let that mess with your head. Get that out your head. Sohan's going to play. Sohan's going to be effective. Sohan's going to put people on lockdown. This is what we want. Okay, so we're going to be ready. For the Knicks, they getting Sohan ready. They getting acclimated. They getting Jose Alvarado, who said, I'm not going on a vacation. I'm going to be here in New York, Tarrytown, practicing, getting ready, getting the schemes together. Him and Sohan, they excited. They both got chips on their shoulder for different reasons. Alvarado, because he's from Christ the King. Sohan, because he's a number 9 overall pick, and y'all keep messing with him, he can really tell you what it is. So we in good shape here. Okay. Now, other teams have to adjust to pick your poison. I don't know what they're going to do. I really don't. Especially if Cat's out there. Okay. And anybody, again, some of y'all are so damn stubborn. I tell you, you cannot come on here talking about we ain't winning a chip with Cat. Get the hell off my channel. Don't ever come back, please, because I'm deleting you. When Cat's out there, it's a different level because can't nobody guard him. Okay, all he has to do is play the game as the game runs through him and let it come to him, and he's learning to do that. When the Knicks win by 45, he's letting the game come to him. See, so teams have got to play the Knicks now. They done solved the physical problem, being physical. They already got it, but now you done messed around and got Sohan and Alvarado. We ain't worried about nobody bullying us. Somebody said we need an enforcer. No, we don't. We got what we need. We got the bully. We got the team that'll take your lunch money if you let them. So that's what we got right now. We're gonna be good. See, Cat gonna be good. JB gonna be good, and we gonna be good. So the thing we're gonna have to look for is what are teams, and we're gonna see it Thursday. What are teams? What is What is Coach Bickerstaff going to do to adjust to New York's new look with these 2 additions here? That's what we got to find out. And I don't know what they're going to do. I really don't, because the Knicks are strong in this area now. This toughness area, they're already strong. Do you know the Knicks are top 10 in the NBA in 8 different categories, including rebounding, total rebounds, and rebounding average? I don't know what teams are going to do, but I'm very excited about our team and about the possibilities of what could happen in these last 27 games with our team. We just got to hope nobody gets hurt. That's the key thing. Stay healthy for this stretch run. Here we go, y'all. So, Sohan today, as of Monday, he was going to be in New York. They're expecting him to be available for Thursday. We know Alvarado's available. We're expecting OG to be available. So we're going to have a 10-man rotation for Thursday. Okay, full 10-man tilt. So let's get ready. And I like that Detroit, we start off with them at the Garden. Let's get this done. Okay, we're going to have to meet with y'all anyway. We got a destiny day in the playoffs. Let's get it started. Get the party started right now. Let's see what we got. Okay, we're going to see. But I'm interested to see what adjustments other teams are going to make to New York. And that's the thing. We don't have to worry about other teams. They got to worry about us. Please remember that before you start tripping about what we don't have. Enjoy your Monday. Shalom.